Good evening, viewers. Welcome to tonight's show. My name is Kariuki Ngigi, and we are here today to address the issue of youth, and in particular, this evening, we want to address the issue of peer pressure, which is really affecting our youth in the society. Sometimes the youths are faced with situations where they are not able to decide which way to follow. The parents are on one side, while their peers are on the other side. So tonight we want to address this issue, hoping that God willing, we will be able to help many youths who are in that situation where they are not able to choose which way to follow. They are in the crossroad. This program is called Youth at the Crossroad. With us to address this issue, we have two guests. Fired, we have Reverend Jude. Reverend Jude is the vicar, is a parish priest, a mother, and a wife. Say hi, Reverend Jude.
Hello, viewer. Hello, viewer. My name is Reverend Judy Wagwa Maina, and I'm born again. I'm a priest serving in ACK Kebingoti Parish in ACK Diocese of Kirinyaga. I'm born again, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome our viewers. Karibuni.
Thank you. Welcome, Reverend Jude.
Thank you.
We also have Rosemary Kirogo. Rosemary is the Deputy Principal, Karoti Girls. She's also a church elder and a youth matron with the Youth at Heart. Karibu mwalimu.
Good evening, viewers. I am Rosemary Kirogo, as you have been told. And I am the Deputy Principal, Karoti Girls. More to that, I am a member of ACK St. Paul's Church Kutus, the youth matron, and I'm born again.
Thank you. Karibu mwalimu. We have youth on us who will keep us on our toes, keenly listening to what our panelists are saying, and also raising questions where necessary. Kiama is a student at Embu University. Just say hi, Kiama.
Hello, viewer. I'm David Kiama from Kutus Parish, and I'm here to listen to my mentors on how they are going to guide us.
You are a student.
Yeah.
Which year?
First year.
Okay, Embu University.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next to Kiama is Grace. Grace, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Grace Nyambura Mureithi Kara, and I'm born again. I'm a youth member of St. Thomas Cathedral Church, Kirugoya. Yeah, and we are also here, as my brother said, to listen to what our parents have to say. Thank you.
Timon, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All the way from Kardongu.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Okay. Good evening, viewer. I'm Timon Moremi, a student at Mount Kenya University, pursuing a bachelor's in hospitality management, and also I'm a peer counselor by profession. I'm here to listen to my parents on what they know about peer counselor, about peer pressure, and to add to what I know.
Thank you. Maybe to start off the show, Grace, what is peer? The word peer stands for what?
Peer, as I know, is it comes from a word para in Latin, that means equal. So in our case, peer is mostly a group, either of your level, grade level, or social life. Yeah.
Thank you. Reverend Jude, help us. The word peer pressure is mentioned all over. And as Grace said, peer are people of the same equal. What is then peer pressure?
Thank you. Just an addition of what our friend has just said. Peer pressure is a direct influence on an individual by a certain person. And this person who is trying to influence you is trying to conform you. You move from what you know, for example, something like a behavior or value or something like an attitude. So he's trying to influence you so that you can change from what you know to something else that is new to you. And especially this thing can be either a positive or a negative. Yeah.
It can be Positive or negative?
Yeah.
Okay, Mwarim, what causes peer pressure?
Now, peer pressure is caused by several things. Number one, there is that need that you feel to identify with a group, to belong to a group. That could make you follow that certain group. There is also the fear of rejection by a group. So if you feel that a group may reject you and you want to identify with it, then you find yourself conforming. You find yourself wanting to do the things that they are telling you to do so that they don't reject you. Peer pressure can also be caused by poor parenting, whereby the parents have failed in their role as advisors. They have failed to guide, so that the young people will go out of their way now to look for people of their age to tell them what to do, to guide them. And in the process, they end up influencing them, either positively or negatively. Another thing that I believe causes peer pressure is a weak personality. Weak personality in the sense that as a person, you are not strong enough to stand your own ground. You are very easily swayed. So when this group comes and tells you do 1, 2, 3 things, you are very quick to follow them. So weak personality is also a factor that causes that. And several other factors, especially when there is a poor relationship between the youth or the young person and the parent, when they fail to get guidance from church, when they fail to get guidance from school, they find themselves being dragged into either positive or negative influence.
There's something that you said, fear of rejection by your peers.
Yes.
So you tend conforming to their standard in order not to be rejected.
Yes.
Kiama,
Yeah.
have you ever found yourself in a situation where you are fearing to be rejected by a certain group?
Yeah, of course. As a young person, that is normal, and sometimes it's like nature. And for us, we have to understand that that can lead to our weaknesses. It can lead to our weaknesses. You find that, for example, you are in a certain group or in a certain institution whereby people are functioning differently the way you are doing. And then you have that feeling that you are supposed to do just like them. Like, for example, going out, going to clubs, is such kind of an influence. You feel you are a young person and you need to join them and go together
You want
with
to
them.
identify with them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear from Grace. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you feel that you are going to be rejected? Labda wako na maboy na wewe huna jamani.
Of course. Yeah, mostly. Like when we are ladies and you meet a gang of ladies. Like personally, I was in Thika. So Thika, we used to call it City of Sin. So there is so much there.
City of Sin.
Yes.
Okay.
So if really you want to blend in that culture of that place, you absolutely find people who live there, of course. So you meet
swim with them. Okay.
perhaps or possibly. But yeah, you might find yourself staying in cubicles. Like for example, school cubicles. Not dormitories, hostels, school hostels. And you find yourself, for example, umepewa na wasichana, some girls who are naughty. And that's your group, Your matron showed you this is your room and this is your group. So mostly you might find yourself, doing what they do. So that
Doing what they do.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to reject you. Timon, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you want to identify with the people, but they're running away from you because you are not conforming to them?
That's the nature of life.
That is the nature of life.
Yeah, mostly to the young people. Reason being, if you fail to identify who you are and what you stand for, you find yourself blending into the bad company for the purpose to be associated with them. Because when you stand alone, you may be weak with the weak personality. But if you identify who you are, you will be able to run.
So you want to say that we do what they are doing so that we can identify with them, no matter whether it's wrong or right?
Yeah. You have to do it because you want to be identified with that group.
You want to identify with that group, so you have to do it.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Did you hear what they said? you have to do it in order to identify with it.
That is true.
So my question is, are there risk factors? What is the risk of identifying with them, whether it is positive or negative?
Yeah, the risk factors are still there. And actually, there are very many of them. But we are going to mention just a few. One of them, the risk factor, is about once somebody has a low self-esteem. The other one is also about lack of self-confidence in you. Once you lack confidence in yourself and whatever you are doing, actually, the other youths are going to sway you from what you know. Then there is still another one, when you talk about poor performance in school.
Okay.
Once you see that the way that you are supposed to perform is not the way you are performing. So it's like, life is very difficult for me. And then immediately, out of that low performance in school, you are likely to be swaying and you change. Then there is this other issue of looking for friends, identifying yourself with friends, of which you need to fit to their class. So what happens?
You steal.
You steal.
You get a sponsor.
You get a sponsor. Then you are also moved to drugs.
Okay.
You also swing to taking smoking. All these things. If you are not careful.
If you are not careful.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Marim, did you hear what Jude said? There
Yes.
are many risk factors. You are a teacher. This innocent girl comes to your school, very innocently.
Yes.
But then she's influenced by her peers. What are the risk factors?
As she has said, when they come to school, of course, they will have come from different homes
Homesteads,
or what you'd
yes.
call households. So they will come there having been brought up differently from wherever they have come from. So they will want to make friends. I want to imagine a girl who is joining Form 1 and has got to identify with other people. So if this girl happens, for example, to identify with a group of students who don't care about their academic performance and then starts performing poorly. You know, she has mentioned poor performance in school. And basically, that is one of the things that make them get swayed to doing the wrong thing. So they will become a group of these ones who do not perform well. And therefore, they will continue performing poorly because they will be disinterested in the academic work. And instead of doing what they are expected to do, they will find themselves breaking all the school rules. And therefore, they get labeled as the people, the are indisciplined. So basically, poor performance can make them want to get influenced in a negative way. Yes.
What you are telling us is that once you are influenced by peer negatively, you may end up losing your goals in life.
Yes.
Your vision may go. Viewers, we want to go for a break. Once we come back, our youths will tell us, do they fear this risk? You know, like Timon said, that this is the normal way of life. Do they fear for the risks which are there? There are so many. Teenage pregnancies are still there. Drugs, they are there. Do they fear them? Once we come back, we are going to revisit that issue, and they will tell us whether they have that fear with them. Let's go for a break.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Blessings Insurance Agency offers you all types of insurance services which include comprehensive third-party car insurance, fire, burglary and all risk covers, Work Injury Benefits Act Policy Waiver, professional indemnity, personal accident among others. You should insure with us for low negotiated premiums, excess protector with our motor covers, excellent after-sales service, and good rapport with insurance companies. We are located at Oasis of Hope House, Kutus. For details and assistance, call us on 0722 007190 or 0721 887977 or visit our website www.ackkirinyaga.org or email us on mountkenyablessings@gmail.com. Blessings Insurance Company. Take care today to indemnify yourself in the event of an accident. We are licensed and regulated by Insurance Regulatory Authority.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Thank you. Welcome back, our viewers, to our show, Youth at the Crossroads. We are addressing the issue of peer pressure, which is really affecting the youth. As we continue this show, we want to remind ourselves that we are in a situation which is very dire. We need to take precaution, and we encourage all to continue sanitizing, and also to put all the precaution as directed by the Ministry of Health. As we went to the break, we were discussing the risks which are there. And as our youth told us, is that sometimes this is the way of life. It's like they do not fear. So our question is, do you fear these risks which are there? Let me start with you, Timon, because you are the one who said that this is the way of life. This list has been highlighted by our guests and others which maybe you can also mention. Do you fear this risk?
Yeah.
Eh?
Sometimes we do fear. Reason being, sometimes you can blend with a group which is from a high class. For example, you are in school, campus. You involve yourself with a group from a rich family background and you're from a humble background. So you'll tend to live a standard which is suiting them, but not suiting yourself.
Okay.
So with all these, utaanza kuchukua loans and all that, which can lead to stress, then depression.
Okay.
And
which will lead you to depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fear is there, but then you are just forced to do it because you want to please your friends.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to blend in. Yeah.
So Grace, tell us, when you go for this spouse are there, that person has a wife, don't you feel that what will be happening when the wife knows that you're moving on with his hubby?
Yeah. Okay, that's huge. Yeah, of course. Of course. Like, I was brought up knowing that anybody who is close to the age of my dad, even my uncle, we call them dad. So, of course, there is fear because sometimes you see like...
Then what happened? There is fear, but what happened?
Okay, we said it's a peer pressure pressing us to do something. We really need to fit there, as Timon said. We have to fit in. So, okay, sometimes you don't really have to choose.
Okay.
You don't get to choose, mostly. Yeah, it's not for you to choose because really, as Reverend Judy said, that sometimes you feel like you're very down. You have a low self-esteem. So obvious, somebody who has a low self-esteem, you tend to swift and you get in. But I know the fear is always there. You never know this man have a gun.
You are the only girl on that side. So let me pin you.
Yeah.
There is the issue of rape. There is the issue of early pregnancy, and all those sorts. When you involve yourself in these scenarios, do girls fear all these things? Exposing themselves too much?
Yeah, but it's not just me pin me completely, but it's not about us. Sometimes these men comes to us. Like I remember where I used to live, you find them across the roads. These men are there waiting for you. Sometimes you think this is a way of life because you find your friends too.
Wanakuchokosa.
Exactly. Wanakuanga nje ya gate ya shule, right? Our boys doesn't even have to talk to us. These men are always there waiting for us.
These men, that you are talking to
No,
Kiama.
the sponsors.
We are talking to Kiama now. Kiama is there.
Kiama is there. Tumetoka class, but these men are wako na gari, Range Rovers. These, I don't know, as he said, poor background. Sometimes it might make you go there.
Let's hear from Kiama. Grace has accused men. You are there. You are the one who are going to destroy our girls. Eh,
I don't think so.
don't you fear?
We fear.
Eh.
Of course, we fear. There are consequences after you've done something which is wrong. But of course, us as youths, there is something that drives us towards sinning or doing something which is controversial or according to how it's life or how life states. So we do fear a lot. We really
You
do
fear a lot.
Yeah, very.
But then you find yourself still doing the same thing because of your friends.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's go back to our guest. These people have fear, but then they are not able to redeem themselves. How can we help them to overcome peer pressure?
Good. Thank you for their contribution. At least you are still learning from them. There are so many ways that we can use so that we can overcome these fears. One, we are Christians. And the Bible says from the book of James chapter 4 verses 7 to 8, resist the devil and he will flee away from you. That is the first thing. Secondly, as a young person, it's good to note that there is a life ahead of you. The third thing, in case you need a counselor, in case you need somebody whom you can consult, counselors are there. We are clergy, we are there. Teachers are there. And so many people who can assist you so that you can overcome all this. The other thing, it's good when you are choosing your friends, choose a person who has a positive mentality, a person who has a positive thinking. That is somebody who can assist you as you grow so that you can make to overcome fear. I think among many other things that we can talk about, we can just for now talk about those.
Okay,
Yeah.
another one, you need to have Christian values.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Mrs. Kirogo. How do you help those girls who come to your school? They are so innocent, but then they end up being influenced by other negatively to overcome those peers.
Now, thank you. When we are talking about the youth generally, the ones that are in school, the ones that are out there, I think one very important thing that we are supposed to do ourselves so that we may help them is create awareness. Create awareness within them that there is something called negative peer influence. Let them know that when they come to school, they are likely to encounter people who will drag them into doing wrong things. So this kind of awareness should be created starting from home. As parents, we are also supposed to tell our children that this is likely to happen, that this can be bad influence to you. The churches got a role to play also. You know, every Sunday when we go to church, sometimes I think it is important, apart from just preaching, we pick a topical issue. We can one day decide now on the pulpit, we are going to discuss peer influence. And we'll have helped so many of our young people. The schools, we have got a role as teachers to create this awareness, to let them know that there is that influence that could ruin them. It is also important, apart from creating the awareness, that as parents, we create a positive relationship with our children. Because I think the first school is at home. So when we create this positive relationship with our children, they are going to be able to talk to us, to communicate to us. They are talking about fear. And you know, generally, another risk factor is fear of their peers, fear of parents. You know, there are young people who fear their parents. There is something disturbing you, but you feel that you cannot open up to your own mother, to your own father. So you'll go out there looking for solutions, looking for somebody that you can share with. So as parents, we also got a role to help the young people by making sure we establish healthy, positive relationships with them so that they can come to us and talk to us and we'll be able to help them. Another thing that I think we need to address is the issue of idleness. The issue of idleness has also affected our young people to a great extent. We are talking about this time when there are no schools. Schools have been closed for a very long time, from March, maybe until January. You see, these young people are at home for a record 9 months or something like that.
Yes, 9 months.
Now, these people, once they are at home, they have got a lot of energy. We must remember that. This energy, in most cases, is used in their academic work. They are reading in the universities, in the colleges, in high school, in primary school. But when they come home, their energy is not being directed to books. And they have the energy, and they may not even be able to do the things that we expect them to do at home. So they get idle. Idleness must also be addressed, because once they get idle, you'll find Kiama has got out of their home and has gone out there looking for people of his age, and because of idleness, they may even want to do things that are not right. That is how you find our young people getting dragged into something like drug and substance abuse. You find Timon there has got into some relationship with some other boys who are equally idle, and they try to, they even try to take alcohol and things that they should not be getting into. My friend Grace here, we are talking about early pregnancies because of this idleness, because out of the idleness, she may go out there and get into bad company. So we are also supposed to create something for these young people to do at home. We make sure they are engaged, because once they are not engaged, idleness becomes the devil's workshop.
But you know, Maureen, we left our children to teach us.
Yes, you did.
Parents used to do nothing. Now that they're with their children for 9 months, they are not sure what to do with them. Can you help these parents? Because in other words, what you are saying is that this is a collective responsibility.
It is true.
The parent is involved, the teacher is involved, and also the pastor is involved.
Yes,
But
all of
many,
us.
many parents are living this law. They don't have time with their children.
Yeah, it is actually true, and that is why many of them are complaining that these children, some of them are even saying schools should be opened. But now what happens is that as a parent, you are supposed to know you have a responsibility, and your own child is your first responsibility. And your child should be a priority in your life. So you do not leave this responsibility of guiding and advising your child to the teachers and to the pastors. Of course, they will come in and assist, but then you remain the first teacher to your child. You also remain the first pastor to your child before the other pastors and the other teachers come in. So parents, I would urge all parents to take responsibility of our young people, because at the end of the day, we are answerable for the things that they may get into.
Thank you, Maureen, for your input. And I want to come back to our able youth who are on this side. How we have talked on how you can overcome peer pressure. And our able guests have told us that we have a collective responsibility. So as teachers, as parents, and as pastors do their work, what do you think is your responsibility? You as a youth. What do you think is your responsibility in this? Grace wants to start.
Yeah, okay. We were talking with a friend early this morning, actually, over the same issue, and we were trying to highlight on what really happens, because right now I'm not under pressure. I can manage my issues right now. But seriously, we need to know. I remember my mom once, when we were growing up, I was in Form 2, and she used to go visit somewhere when we closed schools, because she's always been with us. So she left us with my sister. But there's one thing she told us. I always remember when William said that parents should tell their kids what to do. It's really good, because we also hear. So my mom told us that, look at your hands. I always remember, and that was Kitambo. Look at your hands. Everything is on your hands. So she tried to tell me that everything is my responsibility. My life right now, she cannot be beating me up all the day as I was a young toddler. It is in my hands. So it's good for us to know that right now, in this situation, because tumechanuka, we are those,
In other words, what you are saying is that you are responsible for your life.
Exactly.
Whatever happens for your life, you are responsible.
Yes. And
Okay.
you're the one to feel the pinch, the pain, and the pleasure.
Okay, let's hear from Timon. What is your responsibility?
Okay, first, you need to identify who you are. And
You
what
need to identify whom you are.
Yeah, and what you stand for.
Uh,
Reason being, sometimes we tend to go outside. We are influenced because of how our family background is.
okay.
Sometimes it's not even about the finances or what, but the parenthood. Because if the mom or the dad is not listening to you or even hana time yako, you just start to
Okay,
go
what
out.
I'm hearing is that you need to have an identity.
Yeah, you
Don't
have-
identify with others.
Yeah.
Identify with yourself.
Yeah.
Timon, Kiama, what is your responsibility?
My responsibility is to make sure that I keep myself busy. Like, for example, you have to take not just reading books, but taking life books written by different authors who've been experienced or who have been experienced in this life. And then try to read about their life. And by knowledge, you will be able to have wisdom and apply.
So your responsibility is keeping yourself busy.
Yeah.
That you will be able to conquer the idleness
Yeah.
that Marim said.
Exactly.
Oh my, our time is far much gone. We are ending the show. So maybe your final remark, just 10 seconds.
Thank you. As we conclude, I just want to tell young people, we have a life that is ahead of us. Please, please, please take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Remember, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you,
God bless
Reverend
you.
Judy. Thank you, Reverend Judy. Marim, your final remark.
Thank you. I want to tell the young people that number one, peer pressure will not happen to you unless you allow it. So start family, do what is right. Somebody once said that you become like the five people that you become like the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So find out who are these 5 people that you spend your time with. You will become like such people. And the Bible from the book of Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 14 says this: walk with the wise and you become wise. For the company of fools brings harm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our guest. Thank you so much, the youth who had graced this occasion. Viewers, we come to the end of our show tonight. And as we come to the end of this show, the ball is on our side. As our guest has told us, we have a collective responsibility to help our children, to help our youth in our church and our society, so that they will not be carried away by the peers of their time. And for the youths who are listening to us, remember, you have a responsibility. Your life is in your hand. You can make it, you can destroy it. And remember this, there is time for everything. As season comes and season comes. This season is coming to an end. Do not allow the peers to destroy you. Let's hope that we meet again next week for another show like this. God bless you. Thank you.